I used to believe family was the one place you didn't have to look over your shoulder. I was wrong. My name is Emily Carter, and for years I thought my life was steady, predictable, and safe. I was married to Daniel, a calm, hardworking man who believed in loyalty above all else. His older sister, Laura, was confident, outspoken, and fiercely protective of her family. And then there was her husband, Mark, my brother-in-law, the man who would eventually change everything I thought I knew about trust. Mark always smiled too easily. He was charming in a way that made people relax around him, the kind of guy who remembered birthdays, cracked jokes at dinner, and offered help before anyone asked. If you needed something fixed, he was there. If you needed advice, he had plenty. Everyone loved him, including me. When Daniel and I decided to start a small online business together, Mark was the first to encourage us. He claimed to have experience, connections, insight. He talked confidently about growth, strategy, and, behind the scenes details, we didn't understand yet. I remember thinking how lucky we were to have someone like him in the family. That was my first mistake. At the beginning, everything seemed normal. Mark helped set things up, introduced us to people, and even refused payment, saying family didn't charge family. Daniel trusted him completely. I did too, maybe even more than I should have. What I didn't realize was that while we were building our dream openly, Mark was working quietly behind my back. The first sign was small. A delayed payment. A client who stopped responding. A strange email that didn't quite make sense. When I mentioned it, Mark brushed it off, saying it was normal business stuff. Daniel agreed with him. I let it go. Then the gaps grew wider. Money we expected didn't arrive. Accounts didn't add up. When I asked questions, I was told I was overthinking. Mark laughed it off. Laura defended him. Daniel asked me to relax. So I stayed quiet. One evening, while Daniel was away on a work trip, I received a message that wasn't meant for me. It was from a client, confused, angry, asking why I had changed the agreement again. I stared at the screen, heart pounding, because I hadn't changed anything. When I asked for clarification, the client sent screenshots. They were emails, written in my name, decisions made without my knowledge, promises I never approved. My hands shook as I read them. Someone had been speaking as me. I checked the email headers, the access logs, the login history, and there it was. Mark's IP address. I felt sick. The realization hit me like a wave. I hadn't been attacked openly. I had been undermined from behind, quietly, patiently, by someone sitting at my dinner table every weekend. When Daniel came home, I showed him everything. At first, he didn't want to believe it. Mark was his family, his friend, the man he trusted. But evidence doesn't care about feelings. Emails, contracts, financial trails. Mark hadn't just interfered, he had redirected money, damaged relationships, and positioned himself to step in once we failed. He had planned it carefully. The confrontation happened at a family gathering. No shouting at first, just silence, then denial, then excuses, then anger. Mark claimed he was helping, that he thought he knew better, that he deserved more credit. Laura cried. Daniel stood frozen. And I realized something painful but freeing. Not all betrayals come from enemies. Some come from people who smile at you while standing right behind you. We shut everything down, rebuilt from scratch, cut ties that hurt to cut. The business survived, but our idea of family changed forever. Today, I don't tell this story out of bitterness. I tell it as a warning. Because sometimes the most shocking thing isn't what someone does to your face. It's what they do when you think you're safe.